All right, this is my research video for consumer research for the first pre-work. For the first website looked at the Deloitte Consumers website. They really focused on consumers expect you to keep their promise as a brand. They want convenience and personalization while also being transparent. They also want transparency, which leads to brand trust and just building that trust between the consumer and the brand. And that goes across all generations. They all want the same thing: transparency, expecting to keep their promise, convenience, and personalization. And I would say more personalization towards the younger generation, like my generation, Gen Z, because those people are looking to create their own they're looking to customize their coffees. They want personalization, they want customization, and they want it efficiently, and they just want it to be convenient. And for the second resource I used, the Beyond Coding podcast. They really talked about the behavioral side of it, interviewing customers, listening to the customers, like reviews, maybe taking surveys, but just interviewing and listening to the customers is a great way to understand behaviors and ultimately change a product to suit the new behaviors of the new generations and the old existing generations. And another thing they touched on was analyzing behavior, which leads me to the question, why do people do the things they do? And that was that's what we've been focusing on to start our process, our group's process. That's one of the first questions we've been looking at. Why do people do the things they do in coffee? Why do people get this certain coffee? Why do people get that certain coffee? It's just really, that's what it depends on. You really got to listen to the customers and find out what they do. And for the experts I spoke to, I myself worked at a coffee shop my sophomore summer and junior summer of high school. So I honestly consider myself not an expert, but I was in that field directly. I was making the coffees, serving the coffees, and ringing people up. So it's I've seen it firsthand. But I also talked to two of my coworkers. One of them is actually one of my good friends. And basically what I learned from that experience, talking to them and actually doing it, most of the customer types are honestly teenage girls, moms, or middle-aged men. And there was usually two rushes. It was the morning rush for coffee and the afternoon to late afternoon rush of coffee. It was also you can get other drinks too, refreshers. It wasn't just coffee. It was more like a drink stand, but it was mainly coffee. But for the coffee specifically, it was morning and afternoon to late afternoon. That was the only times people were getting coffee. And the typical range of orders would be black coffee, specialty coffee, or they just make their own coffee. I want a cold brew with 2 pumps of vanilla, or cold brew with a pump of caramel. But I would say most of the coffees that people ordered at the place were black coffee or cold brew with nothing, plain, and they would ask for a room at the top to put their own choice of milk, cream, or you really put anything there. We had a whole lineup of things outside the register and stuff, where people could just put their own stuff. I would say that would be most of the orders I made when I would leave room at the top for people to put their own stuff in, which gives them kind of it makes them feel like they're making it somehow, even though I'm pretty much pouring it and giving it to them. They're just putting their the other stuff in at the top to make it taste better or whatever to their liking. That's the customization part of it. And that's something we've been looking at to start our thing. When we were first trying to figure out ideas for our client challenge, could that be a component? Could that be an element of something we could create? People want to customize their own coffee and they actually prefer putting their own because they can get the exact amount they want. If I had to do it, maybe I put too much, maybe I put too little to their liking. I don't know. Is that something that could actually help Rooted Grounds? Eventually, I don't know. That's what we've been trying to figure out. So that's it for my consumer research.